Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I'm grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Please keep in mind that this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I was shuffling my cards earlier. I was actually in here cleaning up because I always have so much incense, dust and stuff, so I was like, let's clean this up. And Spirit brought through, I wrote it down, they want you distracted by fear. There's someone in your world, it could be on the job, it could be someone in your home, someone you have any relationship with, friend, coworker, anyone, but they want you to be distracted by fear. For some of you, I am getting that this is a person you're in a romantic relationship with, and so they want to use fear as a means of control. Okay? For some of you, you might be experiencing this through triangulation. It might be a habit that's playing out where someone is using third parties to try to control your emotions or to try to gauge your response to them to see whether or not you still want them, still love them, and it's a result of their own insecurity. And for some of you, this is a person on the job who's doing this, okay, wanting to project things that could happen to you. Like, it's like they're thinking of things that could go wrong for you in your world, and they're trying to put those ideas into your mind energetically. So energetic projections. And what Divine is bringing through is that any fearful thoughts that you're having that do not align with what you know is right for you, like, you're aligned. That's what I'm getting, is that you're aligned with your divine path. So random thoughts of fear and things that could go wrong, you can push that back. You can send that right back to the person it came from, or you can just reject it and be like, I know that that's not what I've manifested in my world. If you get fearful thoughts of the worst case scenario that could happen in a certain situation, maybe an interaction with someone that you have not gotten along with, or someone who's tried to give you problems in the past. If you get fearful thoughts of the worst case scenario that could happen, in some cases, for some of you, this is an intentional effort being made by that person in order to put you in a state of fear so that they're able to control you. So Divine is saying to just reject it. If you know that this is not true and it does not align with your divinity and what you are truly manifesting in your life, just be like, I know that that is false. My path is divinely blessed and I'm not manifesting any nonsense. Okay? As I was shuffling the cards, I pulled this card, Power. So you are in your power. So any negative energy that someone's trying to send you in order to control you, you're above it. You're walking in your power, okay? So that's just initially what came through. We're gonna pull a room to see what is the overall energy of your reading, okay? Thank you, Divine. Okay, we've got two. Gable. This is a sincere gift of generosity, offering reciprocity, lovers, ecstasy. Okay. You can screenshot that if you like. And you've also got Fehu, my favorite. This represents property, wealth, currency, assets, fertility, prosperity, and abundance. Okay? Financial insight and wisdom as well. So if there's something that you haven't felt like you knew what to do regarding your finances, Divine says that now is a good time to tap into, 444. Yeah, your finances are protected. Your finances are protected. And you're going to experience wealth that comes from insight. That's insight regarding what moves to make. insight regarding what investments to make, okay? And what Divine is bringing through is that your time, where you invest your time, how you invest your time, is a major indicator of your wealth. So Divine says that there are paths for you that lead to abundance, and as you are investing your time and energy into those initiatives that are truly meant for you, you're going to naturally manifest abundance. They're saying that it's not going to be a hard road to financial freedom for you. The path is already there. You just have to align with it and direct your energy towards it, because there might be distractions. Once again, they want you distracted by fear, so there might be some distractions that you felt as far as your financial plan or what you're giving your time and energy to in order to build wealth. You might be on a path, a creative path, and then someone says, hey, maybe you should be doing this, or maybe you should be doing that, or Divine says that you know what's best for you. Follow what you know is best for you. Okay? All right, let's get an oracle card to see the overall energy of what's coming through. I like that though, because the Lovers, I'm going to pull some cards on that. We need to delve into that. Because Divine already brought through some guidance for finances, but whatever comes through. But I do want to know more about that Lovers. Conclusions are within reach. There's something that I'm hearing, loose ends. There are loose ends. You've been doing the necessary work in order to continue on your correct path, but there are distractions that have been coming into play, trying to get you off your intended path of travel. Okay? Some loose ends. It's like you've done so much work to build and grow and heal, but there's something that Divine is saying we're going to tidy up those loose ends. Yeah, tidy up those loose ends. I don't know why. I used to be a teacher, and what's coming through is no child left behind. You will not be left behind. Also, if you have children, there might be something that you're concerned about with one of your children or several of your children, and Divine is saying that no child will be left behind. You are divinely protected. Conclusions are within reach. You've worked really hard and really well. We see you. That's what your spirit team is telling you. We see you. So no child left behind is for your children. If you have children, they will be taken care of and provided for and protected. And also this is for you. You as a child of the divine, you will not be left behind. Your spirit allies see you. I want to pull specifically for this Gable, for reciprocity, the Lovers. I also see that as alignment with your path for what you are truly meant to do, because the Lovers card in tarot is not just about romantic love. It's also about a union within yourself and divine alignment with what you're supposed to do. Divine, please give me a card for Gable for this Lovers energy. Okay. We got 3. Expect powerful change. So there's going to be a change regarding your love life. Don't let your past hold you back. Okay, that was coming through to me in meditation earlier. I actually saw a short on YouTube with Pamela Anderson talking about how she has shifted her view of wearing makeup, and she enjoys just being herself. She'd rather take more time exploring and traveling and doing things that she loves to do instead of always being with her glam team, you know. And someone said, why didn't she feel this way when she was 28? Why now that she's in her 50s, I think it was in her 50s, is she coming out with this wisdom? And I'm like, yeah, let's go around judging everybody for why they didn't do better when they were younger. Like, what? But I feel like there's something that in your past you did differently. It's something that you did differently when you were younger, or maybe it's a decision that you made when you were younger. This could be, I mean, this is regarding Lovers, so maybe there's a choice that you made regarding a relationship when you were younger, and you might kind of talk to yourself like that person was talking about Pamela Anderson, like, why didn't I do better when I was younger? Why didn't I make a better choice? So there may be a choice that you made when you were younger regarding love that now you're wondering, why didn't I do better? Why didn't I do differently? And the answer is because you didn't have the wisdom that you have now. So there's no need to criticize yourself for any choice that you made regarding someone that you were with. Maybe because a message regarding children came through. Maybe there's a regret regarding who you decided to have children with. Divine says your steps are divinely ordered. And you have not made any mistakes. You've gone through experiences that you have chosen to learn from. And so for that reason, you have never made a mistake. You've only learned lessons. Okay? So yeah, if there's a change that you've made from your past, please don't allow the way that you used to be to defeat you. You know, don't waste energy criticizing the person that you used to be, because that's a part of the process. You had to be there in order to get to where you are now. 1111 on the timer. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, and this is about being in your South Node, so there might be something that you're feeling stuck with, where you're just like, or you might be holding on to a relationship that you just know is not for you. You know, you might be in a relationship, or you might be reflecting on a relationship that you were in that kind of kept you stuck. What Divine is saying is that you are expanding exponentially. I love saying that word, exponentially. And at such a fast rate. Like, your growth is phenomenal. And the speed, I see you as like Superman, just, you know, taking off. The speed at which you grow is really something. You know what? Spirits, they are so blown away by what you do. So on the 5th dimension, you have so many energies that are cheering you on and that are blown away. That's what I keep getting. I mean, I feel like you boost them. You boost them. They are so in awe of what you've chosen to do here in this lifetime. So any choice that you've made that you're not satisfied with, or that you feel like you could have done better, they're saying, please don't let that hold you back. Please don't let that keep you stuck in a space where you're just constantly criticizing yourself. Divine says communication is key. Gemini is coming through. There may be a Gemini involved in the situation. Doesn't have to be, but it could be somewhere in your or your person's chart, okay? What I'm getting is like new and old, new and old. I feel like with this Gable and these cards that have come through, the Gable rune, I feel like Divine is speaking to your past love situations and your future love situations. Because with this, expect powerful change, and this is new moon eclipse energy. There may be something that is really going to shift here. There may be something that you're walking away from, whether it's the relationship itself or a person that you're in a relationship with, or if it's certain elements of that relationship, certain behaviors that you're just not willing to put up with anymore, or that just don't vibe with you anymore. I feel like with you growing like you are, because I see you like Superman just taking off, I feel like you may have outgrown someone. Okay, this could be a situation like that where you're evolving and they're just stuck. Let me get some clarity with my, what is this? The Afro, yeah, Afro Goddess Oracle. I haven't used this in a while, but it's one of my favorites. Divine, please clarify this love situation. Okay, all the mice. So there's some, what keeps coming to me is stagnant energy, but also it's like somebody is not doing what they know they should do. It's an energy of, you know, with mice, there's 3 mice here. That's too many people for a relationship, right? 3's a crowd. In most cases. I know some people have open relationships, but I'm not getting that energy here. I'm getting that this is a situation where there should be a bond between two people, and we're seeing 3 here. Whenever there's a relationship where there's an extra person involved, a third party involved, that is because that has been allowed by one of the people in the relationship. When you have a bond with someone, if there's a third party is responsible for the choices that they make regarding trying to come into your relationship, but whatever damage is allowed to be done. In other words, if you have a lover and they are allowing someone to influence them in a relationship, now this could be an in-law, this could be a person who has never really truly left their parent in order to bond with you. They may be dragging a sibling in the relationship. They might be allowing themselves to be influenced by a person outside of the relationship who's telling them negative things about you. Okay? This could be a person who constantly uses triangulation in order to gain leverage in the relationship. And so it never feels like there's a true bond between you. They're always busy trying to involve someone else. And I'm getting like, I'm seeing somebody in and out, and each time it's a different person. So I feel like this could be a pattern that this person is following, where maybe at some point they were talking to a parent badly about you. Okay, this is your lover or your spouse, right? They're talking to a parent negatively about you. Then they're talking to a sibling negatively about you. Then they're talking to a coworker negatively about you. Then they're talking to an ex negatively about you. So they keep involving third parties. 1717 on the timer. But it's like, I'm seeing like a dressing room, and it's like one person in there and then they leave, and then another person in and then they leave. But they're trying on the same clothes. It's like wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. And it's this constant cycle of the same actions. And I feel like you already know this cycle very, very well. Please give me more, Spirit, to clarify the situation, the house. So this is affecting, you got a third party situation here where 3's a crowd, impacting a house. Okay, there may be just you and your lover in this situation, and remember, this could be past, present, future. So it could be that you have experienced this and now you're moving on, or it could be that you are currently in this situation and you're noticing things, you're becoming more and more aware of this cycle. But 1818, okay. But there's definitely a situation here where this third party nonsense or pattern keeps impacting a house and a home. Okay, so children came through earlier where Divine said, remember, no child left behind, right? And so maybe that's one reason why Divine is saying that you and your children will be okay. But there may be some concern here because you are noticing this pattern that keeps affecting you. This could be impacting your level of security in the relationship. I mean, it never feels good when someone that you love and are supposed to feel secure with. Emotional security is a necessity for a healthy relationship. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care what the finances look like. I don't care what the person looks like or how attractive they are. If you do not have emotional security with them, you know, this person might look really good on paper, but if at the end of the day they're trying the same old nonsense from perhaps years ago, that's what I'm getting. I don't feel like, I mean, if there's a house here, a home, or a family here, I'm not getting new energy here. It feels like something that's been going on. Okay, so these came out. I just want to take a look at them because I was picking up the deck to shuffle them, but they remained on the table. So we've got false narrative here, okay? Divinity. I feel like whatever this energy is of the mice, okay, with this third party situation, it has allowed a false narrative to take place. This really could be like, say if your spouse or your lover was talking negatively about you, or allowing, see, that's the thing, that's what's coming through. They might not be speaking negatively about you, but just by allowing other people to speak negatively about you, that causes destruction. That brings destruction. Because it doesn't help you to feel secure. It's working against the union that you're supposed to have between you. But I feel like there's someone whispering in your lover's ear, telling them things that they have no business listening to. They should be shutting it down. Okay? And what's coming through is that, like, you're the divine one here. Look, like, divine is very clear. You are a healthy, balanced, beautiful being. And so for anyone to speak negatively about you, they're absolutely in the wrong. But not only is that person in the wrong, anyone who claims to love you, anyone who claims to cherish you and honor you is in the wrong just for entertaining that. They should be shutting that shit down just like that. Like shutting it down. I want to take a moment. First I want to look at this. Because what divine is saying is that by this, if this is a cycle that keeps happening, this lack of security that you would feel in your relationship is causing destruction as you are in your North Node. You're in your North Node. You are a divine being in your North Node. You are aligned. But when things in your home or things in your inner circle, your inner world, feel out of whack, out of balance, out of sync, out of order. Because I know that that's not what you want. You're aligned with your North Node, your true purpose, your divine purpose. But if you have someone, if your lover, if your spouse is doing something, allowing mice energy into your home, like, I don't care how much cleansing and clearing you do. It's like, if you, let's say you do energy work to cleanse the energy of your home, and you done mopped your floors and done this and lit incense and it's just sparkling and gleaming, and then after a couple days you've got this cycle over again. They're on the phone with whoever is in their ear talking negatively about you, or they're texting. All of that is negative energy. So it really doesn't matter what you do to cleanse your home. If there's this karmic entanglement that they are reinforcing every time they reach out to this third party to speak negatively on you, a beautiful being who is divinely aligned. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that divine is saying could potentially, it might be very difficult for you because you're trying to do what's truly best for you, and you are doing it. But it's almost as if, the number of people who have realized that they were sleeping with the enemy. Like that movie with Julia Roberts, Sleeping with the Enemy, is very drastic, right? But I think that a lot of people actually have this dynamic where they wake up and they realize that the enemy is the person that they are giving most of their time, energy, and attention to. And that there is never truly this ability to have peace as long as you're sleeping with the enemy. That's another thing that's coming through, is sexual energy is so precious. So if you really are giving your body, your sacral energy, and truly sex impacts all of our chakras, not just the major chakras. It's a whole body experience, okay? It's a whole body experience. And if you are exchanging sexual energy with someone who does not honor you 24/7, okay? Look, 8 days a week is what it should be, okay? They should be putting some extra on it, because all that you are, look, clearly you're aligned. So there should be a sense of gratitude to you for being in their life, for being in their world. And if this person were aligned, you would be grateful to have them in your world. And maybe you are grateful for them. I'm not saying that this person is all bad. Like, nobody's all bad, right? But I mean, this right here, this cycle, if this resonates with you, this cycle is destructive, okay? And that might be the purpose of this reading, for you to realize, you might be giving this person the benefit of the doubt over and over again. And Divine is just letting you know that it truly is destructive for someone who claims to love you to drag your name through the dirt, or to allow someone else to do that. They should be protecting your name. They should be protecting your honor. Okay, so what I want to see is, I think I had this one was flipped. So I wanted to know what was going on here, like with this person. What wound do they have as far as why they open up their energy to third parties against you? Or I would say at least knowing that it's not healthy for your relationship. And this one was already flipped. The wound of the hollow embrace. So you've got two people there in the bedroom or in the bed, back to back. They're not, she's on her iPad. What is he doing? I don't know. His eyes are open. I don't know, maybe you can tell. But they're definitely not into each other. So this says connection that leaves you lonelier. This wound forms when you're physically close but emotionally unmet. You may be in relationships surrounded by people, yet feel unseen at your core. So this person is not making you feel seen, but yet you're more than likely in their presence quite a bit, because it looks like you share a home, okay? It can leave you aching for depth, questioning your worth, and wondering if true intimacy is even possible. And what Divine is saying is that with you being a divine being, you're walking in your divinity and you are in your North Node. Like, you are definitely capable of true intimacy, of achieving true intimacy. Because when you're in your North Node, you're achieving true intimacy with the divine, okay? So you're already proving that you are able to achieve true intimacy. You're not feeling like you're having intimacy with your person because they're allowing too many people in, okay? Now, the other one that came out, I didn't even see how this came out. Okay, the wound of the abandoned inner child. So this situation could be tugging on any experiences that you had in your childhood that were very destructive, very like any traumatic experiences that you went through. But I feel like you have worked very hard to heal those, or either you are, as you are in your North Node. I know that you're healing, but this is regarding also your person, okay? So left behind in their own story. This wound forms when the most tender parts of you are neglected, dismissed, or silenced. There's something that with your person, they have been dismissing or silencing regarding their inner child. What I see is that this person was deeply hurt or deeply neglected in their childhood. And it may not have been full-on abandonment, but I do see, like here, that child is sitting there on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come get them. Okay, so your person may have been abandoned, or it may have been that they were neglected. Not all kids who experience abandonment issues were physically abandoned. It may be that they had a parent or parents in the home, but they were very emotionally detached. And so you might notice that because somebody who goes to a third party, that's what they're doing. They're avoiding the inner work that needs to be done within themselves in order to be able to connect with their partner. So when your person feels insecure, and with you being divinely aligned and aligned with your North Node, I'm sure they do feel intimidated by your growth. So instead of being inspired by that and going within and healing their wounds, so that through that healing process they're able to connect with you and achieve true intimacy, so we don't have this hollow embrace, instead they're going to mama, or going to sister, or going to Susie at work, or going to Brian in the neighborhood, or whoever. They're always finding someone else in order to distract them from the work that they need to do on themselves and the work that they need to do within you. And if they are flirting or having sex with someone else, like if this becomes these third-party situations, if they become flirtatious or if they become sexual, then it could be that there's an addiction there. There could be a sexual addiction at play, okay? But also, through sex and through flirtation, they're looking for validation. They do not feel validated. And so with them feeling so insecure and small compared to you, which they shouldn't be comparing themselves, they should allow themselves to be inspired, but they're seeking validation from someone else. I always like to know the underlying reasons behind things. So I know this is a collective, this is a general reading, but you know, it's good to know and have as much information as possible. Okay, I want to know from this deck, let's get some more clarity here. With communication is key, I feel like that's probably communication that they're having with other people. That may be the problem. They're communicating with too many people instead of focusing on themselves and healing themselves and healing their connection with you. This remained on the table. Childish behavior. This person is acting like a child. If you all have children together, your child may be more mature than your partner. Okay. Let's get some more on this, divine. Oh, okay, so this is in the reverse. Starving for attention. This person is starving for attention. That's why they keep seeking it elsewhere. They're starving for attention. Okay, we've got stuck in the middle. So somebody might feel stuck in the middle here. This could be you between your person and whoever else they're involving. Okay, I just posted a short from a reading from a long time ago, and it was about when you feel secure in a relationship, you don't ever feel the need to scratch and claw your way into your person's heart. And what divine is bringing through, this is goddess energy. This is goddess energy. You don't ever need to fight for your person. You don't ever, and what I mean by that is you don't ever need to fight for your person's attention. Please don't ever do that. That is a #1 way to degrade yourself. Because a person who is ready for you, a person who is on your level, they will not even put you in a situation where you feel the need to fight for them. When you fight for a lover, for a lover's attention, all it does is feed their ego, because ultimately them putting you in that predicament in the first place is childish, it's extremely immature, it's needy, it's desperate, and they are starving for attention. And you're creating chaos with the third party, because the third party is just as sad. The third party is just as sad. And I always say this, anyone who is looking for an opportunity to take someone away from someone, like sometimes you just fall in alignment with each other and you might be paired or partnered at, you know, at one time. But then, you know, I just think with that loose ends coming through, it's like, it feels messy. There's something here that feels messy. But there should not be anyone, any third party who's allowed to make you feel insecure. So if your person has already put you in a situation where you feel insecure, step back. Remove your energy from that struggle. Realize that you're not truly stuck in the middle. Now, I see 2 gavels here. So this could be a situation where there are already divorce proceedings, or maybe there are plans to separate or something like that. This could represent the children. You've got 3 and 6 there. So 3 is like, you know, it could be children or a group. And then 6, that's sort of lower self. So there could be children involved in this situation. Okay. Yeah, there could be children involved. What more, Spirit? Trust your intuition. Friendship breakup. Ooh, shitting where you eat. Somebody was shitting where they ate. And you know where they were shitting and eating? In their home. Somebody brought this to their home. And then we've got friendship breakup here. So this could be a situation where there was a friend involved. Okay? Someone who called themselves a friend. It could have been a family member, or it could have been, for some of you, this could have been someone that you called a friend who ended up being a third party in your relationship. Honestly, that friend is not a friend, and that lover is not a lover. So it seems as though this is something that you have come to realize. I mean, with the Power card coming out, when I was shuffling before the reading, I already know you're walking in your power. So I feel like that's why it says friendship breakup. Anybody who was willing to put you through this, you understand that that's not a true sister. And it doesn't mean that there was sex involved. There could have been sex involved, but there doesn't have to be sex involved in order for there to be infidelity. Not at all. It's when there's a break in the trust. Okay? If your lover and your sibling are sitting around talking badly about you, that's wrong. That is completely wrong. These things are not allowed in love. They're allowed, but not in love. So if there's supposed to be true love, that can't happen. Divine is saying to trust your intuition. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. Also, you have protection with this evil eye here, okay? You have true protection. And somebody truly was introducing, and that's why, you know, earlier in the reading, I brought through, like cleansing your home. And then if you cleanse your home, but then you got somebody living in there who's shitting where they eat, which is in their home, then what's the point of clearing your home of the negative energy? The negative energy is with the person who's doing this stuff. Okay? What I'm getting is that for some of you, this third party could be living in your home. Or this could be something that was in the past. Maybe you've gotten them out of there. Okay? But for some of you, this third party was living in your home. This could be a sibling that came to live with you for a little while. This could be a friend who came to live with you. And oh my goodness, what's coming through is that some of you opened your house to someone who was struggling at the time. And then they got involved with your lover. Now, in that case, it's like, wow. Wow. And the thing is they're both wrong. They're both wrong. There is nobody that is like, you know, less in the wrong. They're both wrong. They're both wrong. People have control over themselves. They should. Anybody who claims to be in a relationship or in a marriage, they should have control over their body and who they choose to, and over their mind as well. If they're sitting in the corner talking about you, what is that? Like, what is that? And the thing is, in this case, they were using each other because the third party wanted to feel validated by, oh, I can get this married person's attention, or this person who's in a relationship, I can get their attention and their affection. Now, they don't really want to settle down with them, and if they do, they're not going to have the staying power, because that's just how they operate. They always want what is somebody else's, right? And so it's a game of conquest for the third party. For the person who's in the relationship who opens up their energy to the third party, it's about validation as well. They're insecure. That's the only reason why they would choose to attack you in any way, whether it's verbally or just, I call it light triangulation, like mentioning somebody else. Okay? Like an ex. If you broke up with the ex and you're with me, why are you talking about them? You know what I'm saying? It's like people who always talk about their exes, then go be with them. You never should have left them. Why aren't you with them now? Were they good enough to stick around? Okay. Then I'm not entertaining it. I'm not entertaining it. It's really crazy. But that is triangulation. And it's rude. And it's very narcissistic because it's a direct result of that person's insecurity. And it's also a sign of a lack of intelligence. It's stupid because they're mentioning someone else who doesn't even care enough to still be in their life. Or if they do, they just want to hang around so that they can get some validation too. But they're not committed to each other, so then why are you still talking about them? It's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, stone wall of resistance. Divine is saying to build an unbreakable barrier. I feel like this is a barrier that needs to exist between you and your alignment with your divine path and your attachment to this person who keeps up with these third-party cycles. Because with your path, you are shining and gleaming so much, and divine does not want you to stop doing what you're doing because you are distracted by someone else's repetitive cycles of triangulation and third-party involvement. That's just stress that you don't need to feel. Okay? Yeah, please protect your emotions and your mind from your attachment with this person. No matter where you are on the timeline regarding your connection to this person who keeps involving third parties. Divine says by trusting your intuition, you're going to go through this process and you're going to come out stronger, and you're going to have something really beautiful and wonderful to talk about regarding your experience of healing from this that you can use to share with others and help them as well. Divine says that that's one of the main reasons why you're going through this, is because there are so many other beautiful beings that need to gain insight and support on their journey through something very similar. So this experience that you're going through is not in vain. It all goes back to your power and your wisdom that you have inside of you. Okay? Any other guidance for these beautiful beings regarding this situation? Okay, so shifting sands and chains of stagnation. This person that's always involving third parties, it feels like they're always, like they're very stagnant. And that's why people remain in entanglements. Because you can get in a karmic entanglement, but you can get yourself out. But I feel like you've cleared yourself from something. Like, I want to see what the status is of your entanglement with this situation. Like, where are you with this situation? Because that's very important. Thank you, Divine. Okay, you are free. I love it. You're free. Ace of Swords. You're free. And also you have clarity. So whatever entanglement there is, this is a big, huge karmic entanglement, and it's something that was just reiterated over and over and over and over again through many cycles. But you have broken free. You took that sword and you said, not anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. Okay? So you freed yourself with the power of your ancestors and your spirit allies. Ashe. Divine is saying to protect that freedom. Okay? Because this person who continues to go through these third-party cycles and all of that, if you are still connected to them, you really do, you're being guided now to understand that they are stagnant. I don't see them changing. Okay? They are bound by these chains of stagnation. With shifting sands, it says they have instability beneath their feet. And I don't know. I feel like with them being stagnant, but they're also being shifting sands, I just don't feel like the future for this person is going in a positive way because they're not making the changes that they need to make. Where's this person headed in the future? Okay, King of Wands. So there could be very lustful, egocentric, arrogant energy here. Okay. I feel like this person tries to be a leader, but there's this like sense of control that they always like to have. 44 on the timer, you are protected. Divine really wants you to know that through all of this, you are protected. But I feel like this person works in a state of ego. They live in a state of ego, and they try to have power over other people and situations. That's why they always go to a third party instead of having inner authority over themselves, over their gifts and awareness. They don't work through a level of awareness within themselves. They work through having power, trying to control other situations and how people see them, which is why they're always trying to use a third party, because they don't have the power to do what they need to do within themselves. Yeah, this is a path of heartache, okay, with this person. Okay. Okay, so with Three of Wands, it looks like movement forward. Ships coming in. Something new coming in. Oh my God. Didn't they say, Divine said expect powerful change. Right? Okay. So, for some of you, this could be a past situation, or you could still be working your way through creating this stone wall of resistance, okay, between you and this person. And I'm seeing like a wall, but I'm also seeing a dove come in. So what that lets me know is that there is a peaceful resolution. Oh, and Divine did say, because there was another one of those moon cards, but Divine said that conclusions are within reach. Remember, conclusions are within reach. So there is going to be a peaceful conclusion, okay? It could be a little rocky at some points, but I feel like ultimately there is going to be peace. That was a little tough to get out. So I feel like there could be some obstacles, but this will be a peaceful conclusion to this negative energy with this third party stuff and all of that. You've got something else coming in, and this is coming in direct to the High Priestess, okay? Now, I see you protecting your energy, protecting your resources. So this could, if you're going through a divorce or you're going through a separation with this person that was so heavily involved with other energies and always dragging your name through the mud, and maybe, you know, I don't know, somehow involving other third parties and, you know, shitting where they eat and all of that stuff. I see you gathering your energy and protecting your energy. And there could be either already someone, or you might be introduced to someone, or there's someone else that you would be introduced to who's King of Cups energy. This is balanced. This is intuitive. This is like a good-hearted person. They're able to connect. And then we've got Empress and Four of Wands. So I see a beautiful home environment. I see peace. I see abundance, creativity. And see, with this Empress energy right beside the Four of Wands, this is like at the beginning where Divine was saying no child left behind. As a parent, you're going to be very well established and supported and able to support those that you love. This is a loving home, perhaps marriage or some kind of union. You're going to have people in your world that are loving and that deserve your energy. Yeah. Let me get a little more on that. Let me see. I want to pull from the archetype deck. Divine, tell me more about this future here for this beautiful being. Okay. Why do we have here Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. You know what? Okay, so whenever I see this card, I'm always like, I don't want to offend anybody, but Divine is bringing it through. The person that you're going to be with, they're going to make sure that you feel valued, and you're not going to have to do anything that you don't want to do. It's this card, okay? It's the prostitute card. But I feel like the person in your past could have very well made you feel like you had to sell your soul. This person that you were with made you think or feel through their actions that you had to do things that you did not want to do. And so you felt like you had to negotiate your worth. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like always having to explain to somebody your worth. Like you really felt like you had to sell yourself to them. Like, I really am a good husband, or I really am worth your time. I really am a good wife. I really am the, you know what I'm saying? And isn't that what happens when you feel like you have to fight for somebody? If you ever were fighting with a third party, it's like what you're doing is you're saying to that person, wait, I'm better. Pick me, pick me. You ain't no pick Misha. Excuse me. So that's exactly what this is. Thank you, Spirit. You're attracting someone who is truly going to validate your worth every single day. And you're already doing that, right? It's not like you're looking for this person to do that, but they're just naturally going to do it because they're going to honor you. You're not going to have to prove yourself anymore. You're not going to have to feel like you have to play games with somebody because they started playing games, so now you got to finish them. That's never what you wanted. You never wanted to play games. You were just trying to keep up with this person's childish behavior. But you can't really keep up with childish behavior because it's supposed to be grown out of. But this person does not, they're not ready to grow. They're not ready to grow. But there's someone in your future that you're attracting who is going to validate your worth. Just in the way that they look at you, and the way that they talk to other people about you, and the way that they want to spend time with you. Their existence in your life is always going to validate your worth. And with you already validating your worth on your own, it's just going to be so beautiful because it's somebody who truly does complement the divine work that you're already doing. And that's what a divine union really is. It's not where you're looking for somebody to rescue you or heal you or make you feel better, because of course that's never going to work, because that's work that we have to do for ourselves. But that's why this person, either from your past or that you're currently with and getting out of a relationship with, that's the problem there, is that they're looking to other people to do the healing work that only they can do. And so they're stuck in a rat race. They're always going to be, they're on a hamster wheel, constantly chasing the next person who can bat their eyelashes at them, or, you know, flirt with them, or have sex with them in order to make them feel like they are the shit. And they're never going to feel like the shit in that way. They're just going to feel like shit. Yeah, this was the card that I was looking for, but conclusions are within reach. So Divine says that no matter where you are on the timeline in this situation, you're full of power. Bam. You're full of power, and you are on a beautiful path. Divine is saying to focus on the work that you're doing for yourself. And if you are a parent, focus on creating balance for your children or for your child, because truly when you feel balanced, they're going to pick up on that, right? So Divine is saying that more time and energy needs to be put into yourself than you might realize. You might feel selfish sometimes nurturing yourself, but it's definitely needed. because you've been through a lot. This person has dragged you through so many cycles of abuse, and I feel like it's been emotional. Some of it, I hope, has not been physical, but some of you may have experienced that. There may have also been some verbal going on, and it's just, I try not to say ABUSE on that, but you know, it is what it is. The algorithm is whatever it is, okay? It's blessed. But Divine is just saying that you have been through so much, and you deserve this time to just nurture yourself. Whether you had physical signs of mistreatment or not, whether this person put their hands on you or not, just the mental exhaustion that comes along with being in a relationship where someone is constantly mentioning someone else, comparing you to someone else. And then there's all the other stuff that goes along with that, because this feels like in my other readings, there was a lot of malignant narcissism where it's just like straight up people are just breaking the law, doing all kinds of crazy shit, okay? But the energy of this person, it feels a lot more like covert, or I like to call it vulnerable, because they truly act this way because they are vulnerable. Narcissism, where they're just so scared of not being wanted. They're actually so scared of not being affirmed by you that they look for that validation in other people and in other things. There also could be behaviors, addictive behaviors here. There could be gambling, there could be heavy drinking, things that this person is using in order to try to mask their sense of inadequacy. And that really is what's going on. They see you in your power and they feel completely and totally inadequate. And so they look for ways to build themselves up, but none of these ways are healthy and none of these ways will work. And this person is stuck in a cycle of doing this. So you're in your power, you are free, but you will no longer be in this role of placating to them and fitting into the role of being that person who's trying to claw and scratch their way into their heart and then prove to this person that you're the better option. Like, excuse me? That was clear from day one that you were the very best option for this person. And the fact that they will not humble themselves to honor you in the way that they should, in the way that you have always deserved to be honored, conclusions are within reach. Okay, I want to hear from Mama LaShawn here. Let's hear from Mama LaShawn. Because I'm feeling that you're like opening up to her energy, because she's Mama LaShawn and Lilith too. You know, Lilith is like freedom. Like, yes, freedom. LaShawn is so beautiful. One reason why she's so beautiful is because she gets us in touch and in tune with the sweetness of life, with our own sweetness, which you may have felt hardened, like you had to harden your heart. I mean, we were already saying to put a wall between you and your attachment to this person, because you can't allow someone to keep hurting you like that. There has to be a boundary there once you understand that a person is just going to keep hurting you. But there's still sweetness in life to experience. You know, you've been experiencing this negativity with this stuck person, but there's still lots of sweetness for you in this life and within you that this person could never take away. They could not take away your kindness and your love, and they could not hurt your heart to an extent where it can't heal. They can't do that. Oshun of Perpetual Beauty. Ooh, look at that card though. My God, that's beautiful. And Oshun's Machete. Okay, this one is Inner Beauty, Self-Love, and Transformation. That's card 40. And this one is 33. Radical Truth, Clarity, and Self-Awareness. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to start with 33. And we might read both. Let's see. Okay, so her machete. Oh, I love that. Get that knife out. Remember? Because Ace of Swords came out. That sword. You have clarity. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Oshun says, I am a beacon of truth in my words, my actions, and my life. And that's what she's telling you, that you are a beacon of truth in your words, your actions, and your life. Okay. All right, listen up. It's high time to cut through the lies and BS. Stop dancing around the issues and face the hard truth. No more excuses, no more justifications. Whether you've been avoiding confrontations or big decisions, enough is enough. Be a representative of truth in a world that desperately needs it. You owe it to yourself, beautiful being. Oshun's machete. Her machete is a powerful symbol of radical truth-telling. This goddess invites you to wield this symbolic blade of clarity, to hack through deception, secrecy, or half-truths. Yeah, you're not doing that shit anymore. The secrecy, the half-truths, the beating around the bush. Like, you are a whole grown, divine, beautiful being. You don't have time for that. Truth is her sacred ground, and she stands as a guardian of integrity. Hold the mirror up to yourself and others. Dare to dive deep into truths you may have been avoiding. Okay, and then I want to read the one for perpetual beauty. So that's card 40. I am a reflection of sacred beauty. This is about inner beauty, self-love, and transformation. Oshun is considered to be a legendary beauty. Of course she is. Ashe, Mama Oshun. Oh, I got goosebumps. Beauty is the way the divine expresses love and speaks to us. Consider the beauty of nature. If you pulled this card, it's a sign that it's time to embrace your own special brand of inner and outer beauty and practice deeper self-love. Recognizing your sacred beauty empowers you to radiate confidence and attract positive energy into your life. When you feel comfortable with your own sacred beauty, you pave the way for positive transformation. What to do now? Engage in activities that boost your self-love and self-care. Stop forcing things. Allow yourself to be guided. Notice synchronicities appearing. They are cues that you're on the right path. The divine encourages you to recognize and honor your own sacred beauty. Your journey is always evolving, and it's important to regularly check in with yourself. Take this as a divine nudge to refine the direction of your life. When you are in harmony with your desires, you're open to the flow of positive energy and receptive to fulfilling your intentions. Enjoy life's beauty as a spiritual practice. Recognizing and nurturing beauty is a path to deeper self-awareness and spiritual growth. Reevaluate your long-term goals and see how they mesh with your current actions and feelings. Abandon what no longer serves you and prioritize choices that resonate with your true self. Ashe. Get one more glimpse of that beautiful card. That's Mama Oshun saying, yes, you are so beautiful. And nobody can change that. Because we go through things that don't feel beautiful and that don't make us feel beautiful. But that's why we have to realign with our truth, with our beauty, to remind us that it's still there. It's always going to be there. So even when we go through ugly circumstances and situations, we're still beautiful. All right, I hope that you enjoyed these messages, beautiful being. And thank you so much for tuning in. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers, whether you are new to Inner Dreams or you've been here for a long time. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And I'm so grateful for you all. And yes, I wish you peace. I wish you joy. And I wish you so many blessings. Take care.